Oh, a little bit of bumping there in the pit lane. Whoops. As the 335 of Daniel Moalem tries to get underway here as well, running on the Daniel Ricciardo chassis. Let's have a look at the starting grid for Heat 2, CD Rotax Groups C versus D. Here is your starting order. So, on pole position, it will be Linus Henson from Germany and Belgium's Luca Leistra. Nick Cuppins and Callum Bradshaw, row 2. Row 3, it's Mark Kimber and Enzo Calderas. Tobias Poschik and Ethan Ferramont, that's row 4. Row 5, and completing the top 10, it's Erhard Turker and Felix Jansson. Row 6, it's Fabio Giliberti and Tom Bilou. Chloe Canard and Leonardo Tiozzo, that's row 7. Christian De Klein and Mario Sidler, that's row 8. Row 9, it's Luca Costa and Theo Eriksson. Arvid Rosen and Matteo Pianizola round out the top 20. Benoit Tordema, Beer Dorrestein, that's row 11. Simon Gaspar, Artur Horsch, that's row 12. Scott Westhovens and Yaden Ived, row 13. Bente Boa and Leonardo Del Col, that's row 14. And on the 15th and final row, it's Daniel Moalem and Matteo Richter. So another 10 minutes on the clock, plus an additional lap set in stone to get us going racing. So we'll find out what's going to happen, because after this we'll have 2 more races remaining, which will take us through to the lunch break. And a reminder for all in the paddock, there is to be engine silence in the paddock at all times, and also no revving up of engines as per the current FIA CIK regulations. So it's down to Linus Henson and Luca Leistra. Leistra very happy with his new set of moving power race overalls he got yesterday. They're about to get very dirty, they are, and hopefully they wash those black marks out easily whenever you've been sitting in a car. But out of the final corner they come, and they head their way into the tram lines. They build speed. Are we ready? Are we steady? Heat 2 for CD Rotax is a good go, and Linus Henson takes the initial advantage going into T1. Nick Cuppins looking up the inside of Luca Leistra, and it looks like Mark Kimber's trying to go through that opening as well as they make their way through into T5 for the first time. Callum Bradshaw's made his way through, and we've had someone drop down the order quite significantly there. Coming out of the left-hander at turn 4, but it's as you were. Linus Henson battling away, and Nick Cuppins is trying to close in and get the job done. There's Luca Leistra, then Mark Kimber, then Callum Bradshaw. Enzo Calderas says, oh, there's been an incident, and we got one kart mounting the back bumper of another, and that is the 360. We've also got the 606 Leonardo Del Col, who started 28th, involved in that. And luckily enough, the drivers have managed to get away. And there's also the 344. That's Chloe Canard, I think I just spotted as well. So more dramas for the drivers, but things at the front of the field starting to get a bit rambunctious, as now Mark Kimber finds himself passed, I think, by Callum Bradshaw for 4th position. As there's an almighty scrap, and there's 3 wide. Erhard Turker had one kart one way around the outside, and that was Felix Jansson, and probably had the likes of maybe Fabio Giliberti going up the inside, a tag from behind on Turker, as Jansson trying to get the elbows out. They do say that rubbing's racing, but karting is a non-contact sport, and these drivers are really pushing the envelope. There's so many different minutes, different moments that I've seen here that have possibly caused maybe caused a potential incident, but luckily enough, the majority of the field make their way through. And I've just seen that on my on the timing screens that Benoit Tordema, Leonardo Del Col, and Daniel Moalem have had a drama, and now Luca Leistra has got past Linus Henson. Here comes Callum Bradshaw up into second, and oh, Linus Henson run wide. That was by Mark Kimber, I believe. Oh my goodness me, Linus Henson right under the caution. He's just been passed by, that is going to be Tobias Poschik that's trying to get past Linus Henson, who's now just had one of the other drivers trying to go up the inside. It's all kicking off. So we've got 3 pretty much confirmed retirements. Chloe Canard is still running, I see, down in 27th position, and she started 13th. But at the moment, it's Leistra from Bradshaw, Kimber in 3rd, Nick Cuppins, Linus Henson, Enzo Caldajas, Tobias Poschek, Ethan Fahamon, Ehad Turka and Felix Jansson. That's your top 10. But this is getting rather intense as the 347 there. That's Ehad Turka trying to put a fight on Ethan Fahamon. Up the inside there goes Felix Jansson, and Tom Bilou also gets through. And he's trying to get past all three of them. Gets past two. Oh my goodness me. I cannot believe what I've just seen. Some audacious manoeuvres, and we're only into race 6 out of 24. There's still plenty more where that came from, ladies and gentlemen. And in many respects here, we've had the 3 retirements now officially confirmed. But Callum Bradshaw has got past Luca Lystra. So Bradshaw will look to become the second different victor after provisionally Sean Butcher in the first heat. Just before this one got underway, and he's already started pulling a gap, and he's put in the fastest lap of the race. And there is Linus Hansen ahead of Nick Cuppins, Tobias Poschek, and there's Enzo Caldajas, and there's a bit of a dust up behind us. Oh my goodness me, someone got spat out exit stage right coming out of turn 5 and was thrown to the wolf pack behind, and it's 3 wide, and just at the front of that is Ethan Fahamon. There's more. This is going to get rather dicey. And one of the drivers, that was Tom Bilou, that got spat out exit stage right coming out of turn 5. Maybe courtesy of Theo Eriksson, as someone's gone wide, way too wide, coming out of the penultimate right-hander. And that was Mateo Richter from the Czech Republic. And Richter had fought his way up from last on the grid and got himself into within the top 20, near to the top 20. And still we have this battle royale. Now this is between Linus Hansen, Nick Cuppins, Tobias Poschek and France's Enzo Caldajas. And there's a massive gap between Caldajas to the tune of nearly 2 seconds behind him and Ehad Turka. Felix Jansson and Ethan Fahamon round out the top 10. And I'm just keeping my eyes on who else is behind them. Theo Eriksson from Norway is up into... He started 18th. Now up into P11 and is trying to close the gap to Ethan Fahamon, but the gap is about 1.1 seconds at the last time of asking. Across the line they go. Callum Bradshaw still out there in the lead of this race, having started from the outside of row 2 alongside Nick Cuppins, the Brit, current FIA World Karting Champion. There's a front bumper loose, and who is that? That is the 383 I see. That's Fabio Giliberti. Marshall on the scene, front bumper ripped asunder, and it looks like Ehad Turka has also dropped down the order. There's a back bumper on the kart there. That's from the earlier skirmish, but yeah, that's going to be another retirement. Ehad Turka has dropped all the way down the order as well. So more dramas than you can shake a stick at this morning, and we haven't even gotten started here at Adria. So there are the top 3. There's the 4th, 5th and 6th. So Hansen versus Cuppins and Poschek. Caldajas rounds out the top 7. 3 minutes and 43 seconds still to go, plus an additional lap. And if you thought that this was going to be the start of something explosive here in Italy, you ain't seen nothing yet, because there's still plenty more racing action to come after we have the lunch break early at about 12:30 local time here in Adria. So Bradshaw leading Lystra. Lystra started on the outside of row 1. And Polster to Linus Hansen finds himself down in 4th place at this particular moment in time. Tom Bilou's got past Beard Dorestein. Fabio Giliberti is pretty much a retirement. Ehad Turka, also a confirmed retirement. So the last driver that is running at the moment is Francis Chloe Canard in the 344. She's currently running in 25th position behind Israel's Yarden Ived, who started in 26th, now up into 24th, and is about 4.5 seconds behind the Netherlands' Christian de Klein on the CRG. So we return our attention to the battle between 4th, 5th and 6th position. Linus Hansen keeping things nice and calm, whilst Callum Bradshaw's just putting down the throttle every opportunity he gets and puts in the fastest lap of the race of 50.619 or the 358 representing Great Britain. Linus Hansen was in contention for the victory in the second final at Genk. If anyone might remember that one, well, I certainly do, when a certain Lachlan Robinson and Linus Henson got away from the rest of the field, whilst Bradshaw and Kimber got all crossed up by gambling, by putting slicks on inclement weather conditions, doing the old Jensen button routine, and still managed to take the victory. But Henson took a solid pair of fourth place finishes in the first final and the second final last time out. But running P4, despite having started on pole position for this heat, still a very good effort. It's about consistency. It's about gathering those points. And the higher up in every single race that you are, the less points you score. And that puts you towards the top of the leaderboard. Top 30 will qualify the pre-finals for the finals tomorrow. And now Luca Lystra has been passed by Mark Kimber. But Lystra not going to give that one up. So the top three running all on Tony Kart chassis, as there goes Lystra up the inside of Kimber to retake second position from the Brit. Neatly done there, going through turn 4 into 5 before the right-hander here at 6, which then tightens in and goes back on itself pretty much before the next few corners here at the circuit. A very tight and technical infield section here at the far part of the circuit here at Adria, just over 1,300 metres. And this circuit has seen plenty of action over the past few years and provides some fantastic action, which we've already been treated to in the first 6 races of the day so far. 40 seconds on the clock remaining plus an additional lap. Callum Bradshaw's lead as he now pumps in the fastest lap of anybody, 50.570 from the Brit. Lead goes up to nearly 1.6 seconds ahead of Luca Lystra. Mark Kimber rounds out the top 3 ahead of Linus Henson, Tobias Poschek, Nick Coppens, Ethan Faramond, Enzo Cadahas, Felix Jansson and Tom Bellew rounding out the top 10. Scott Westhovens has made some inroads in the meantime, starting 25th and now up into 19th position. So the young Dutch driver was the Slang and karting in the 353 ahead of Leonardo Tiozzo, who rounds out the top 20. Now Linus Henson is extending the gap between himself and Tobias Poschek, and a little bit further back you have got some interesting battles emerging. Felix Jansson trying to close in on Enzo Cadahas for 8th position, as Ethan Faramond now completes the top 7 and is trying to get away and has managed to bridge a little bit of a gap at the moment as we speak, to about close to 2.5 tenths of a second. There are Lystra and Kimber once again. And Lystra doing everything he needs to do. Bradshaw and Kimber are setting very, very quick lap times indeed. They're the only drivers to go into the 50.5s here in this race. Luca Lystra around about 1/10 of a second off the pace of Callum Bradshaw, but still able to keep Mark Kimber at bay as we are now heading on to the final lap. We are on the final lap of this race, and it's going to be a convincing win from 4th on the grid to Great Britain's Callum Bradshaw, who will now cross the line and take the checkered flag by a comfortable 1.861 seconds from Luca Lystra from Belgium. Mark Kimber started 5th, finished in 3rd place. Linus Henson started on pole, finished in 5th position, ahead of Tobias Poschek, started 7th, finished in 5th, with Nick Coppens, who started 3rd, finished in 6th position, ahead of Ethan Faramond, Felix Jansson, Tom Bellew and Norway's Theo Eriksson, who started 18th and ended up rounding out the top 10. So good effort from the Norwegian. Enzo Cadahas in 11th ahead of Beer Dorrestein, Otto Roche, Mario Sidler and Italy's Matteo Pianizzola rounding out the top 15 positions. Luca Köster started in 17th, finished 16th ahead of Sweden's Arvid Rosen. Simon Gaspar, Scott Westhovens and Leonardo Tiozzo ran out the top 20. With Bente Boer from the Netherlands, she finished in 21st position ahead of Christian de Klein, Matteo Richter, Jarden Ived, and the final and 25th and last finisher in this race, completing the full 13-lap race distance, Chloe Canal from France. Fabio Giliberti and Erhard Tucker retired on laps 6 and 5 respectively, with Benoit Tordima, Leonardo Del Col and Daniel Mualem unfortunately being eliminated on the very first lap of the race.